Hello, it is the world according to Ali. Episode, I can't remember. Episode 23. It is Sunday the 19th of June. I've just got back from a Rumble Fitness afterburner competition thing, and yeah, I had too much birthday cake last night and nearly threw up. I'm an idiot. Yeah, it's all good. Anyway, let's go on with the questions, shall we? So, question 1 from Kerry Gowan. Burpees. Your thoughts, please. Oh, fucking burpees. I'll tell you what. One of the things that Kez said to me, and I'm glad she fucking didn't, I'll tell you. She said she was going to shove the camera in my face after doing the burpees at today's competition to get a really fresh perspective on them. Yeah, glad that didn't happen, because nearly threw up because I'm a dickhead. And yeah, it was Joe DeCaro's birthday party last night, and there was some wicked food. It was well tasty, and I ate too much because, you know, I'm stupid, and I knew I was eating too much, but the food was good, and I was like, nom nom nom, and then it was burpees. But you know what? I'm digressing, like fucking whatever. So what are my actual thoughts on burpees, other than like thinking that today I didn't do myself any favours? I think, in all seriousness, burpees is shit. There you go. And that's not just because they were horrible today, right? The thing is, one of the things that I see, like, people use burpees as like a sort of training methodology, right? It's a bit daft, really. Because the thing about a burpee is that it's a movement pattern, it's a movement skill, okay? And once you can do the movement pattern, once you can do a movement skill, it's kind of ingrained in, right? To use something like a burpee as a conditioning tool, it's just a bit fucking shit. Because what you've got, you know, with like sort of conditioning drills, is what you're looking for is a sort of physiological adaptation, okay? With any kind of training, that's what you're after. So, you know, if you're strength training, then you're looking to overload, you know, the musculoskeletal system, or, you know, improve central nervous system function, you know, to recruit motor units and so on, and just basically generate more force, right? Well, burpees don't tick that box because, you know, it's just body weight, right? And the overload principle just isn't there, right? Then you've got the aspects of conditioning, but the thing is you can't really do burpees for long enough to actually elicit a proper cardiovascular adaptation. You know, it's not a steady state maneuver like a good cyclic action or rhythmic action, like, you know, rowing or running or cycling or something like that. So, you know, it's something that is difficult to actually keep a steady heart rate. But then you've just got the whole thing, well, burpees are hard, so therefore it must be good for conditioning. But, you know, you're not actually going to be able to do burpees for a long enough time period to get, again, the adaptation that you require. So what I generally think about burpees is that they're a very specific thing. So you do burpees in order to get better at burpees, but it won't really carry over to anything else. Yeah, it might make you more mentally tough, but you know what? So the amount of burpees it will take to make you more mentally tough would probably actually fuck your body up. Because again, the type of movement pattern that it is, there's a lot of, you know, potential uneven loading. As fatigue kicks in, the movement skill is going to break down. You know, I mean, really, the risk to reward ratio for a burpee is shit. It really is, you know. And the thing is, though, is I'm good at burpees, but that's because I did loads of wrestling. So there was loads of that sort of chest to floor type action in wrestling when you're doing sprawls, which is to defend a takedown, a double leg takedown or whatever. So, you know, yeah, burpees are just fucking shit, really. And what I see is that, like, you know, I think a lot of people use burpees in a training session to make people tired, to make them feel like they've worked. to make them feel like they've worked hard. And you know what? I think that's a fucking bullshit attitude, you know? I mean, fair enough, if someone hasn't got the movement pattern, then, you know, they can train that movement pattern. But, and they need, you know, and they can learn that movement pattern. I mean, we actually do burpees here at PTS, right? But, you know, it's literally a case of develop the movement pattern, because it can be useful. Burpees actually only make an appearance in our obstacle racing class, and that's it. They don't appear anywhere else, you know. So I'm not being hypocritical before you wankers start going, double standards. It's not that, okay? I won't use burpees just to make someone tired, because that's bullshit. They're a specific movement pattern, okay? They don't work for strength, they don't work for cardiovascular adaptation, and to be honest with you, they don't really work for much else other than the specific ability to do burpees better. So that's what I think of burpees, okay? But really, they're a bit of dog shit. But, you know, one thing that they are fun to do is throw into competition, because they are measurable. You know, someone leaves the floor, someone touches their chest to the floor, you know, and they are hard. So, you know, throw them in competition, fair enough. Throw them into training, but only if you can't do them, or if you need to practice the movement pattern. Nice small dose, learn the movement pattern, move on. There's much better ways to get all of the adaptations that you would want, other than doing more burpees, because again, they'll just jack up your joints, and like, if you fatigue, you end up degrading the movement pattern. It's not about that. I've waffled on enough now. So yeah, burpees, they've got their place, but it's a very, very small place, because otherwise they're used like shit. Right then, question 2 from Tadas. You know, I'm going to embarrass myself. I'm going to attempt to say his surname. Tadas Gurdazinuas. Sorry if that was wrong. Anyway, he asked, the ketogenic diet. Your thoughts, please. Ooh. Right, the ketogenic diet. Okay. Yeah, ketogenic diet. Okay, so what is the ketogenic diet? The ketogenic diet is basically the methodology of going like almost completely carb free, yeah, and replacing carbs with fat as your main dietary energy source. Okay, the theory being that you will make your body more efficient at burning fat rather than carbs, and so on and so forth, right? Now, I think for me, really, like what I'm looking at here objectively is what is the point behind some of this stuff. Now, a lot of the time with diets that are listed and they have like their methodology and their philosophies and stuff like that, it's usually a backlash against something else, right? So the ketogenic diet, I think, is a backlash against a huge amount of processed food and processed carbohydrates and processed sugar that is present in modern society, right? It's fair enough. But then the backlash of that, from the scientific point of view, to then eliminate carbs to make the body then be better at processing fat as a fuel. Because the thing is you can force the body to run on fat rather than carbs if you eliminate carbs as a ready fuel source. But that doesn't make fat a more efficient fuel, because you haven't changed the nature of fat. What you've done is you've changed the nature of the, you know, the body's order, as it were, of burning the fuels, because of a fuel that's not present, or present in such abundance, and the hormonal reactions to that. But fat is still an inefficient fuel compared to carbohydrates. So just from a performance point of view, you have to bear that in mind. Now, I'm not claiming to be an expert on the ketogenic diet, because I've never done it, and you know, there's a couple of thoughts in there. I can understand like the elimination of like processed foods, you know, But that should just be like sensible, rather than needing to go the hardcore way of the ketogenic diet. And the biggest things for me about the ketogenic diet that makes me think you have done this as a counter reaction, it's a bit too hardcore, is the elimination of fruit. That doesn't sit well with me, because you know, fruit is just a very good natural food. There's lots of good stuff in fruit, right? And also I think as well, elimination of a lot of vegetables as well, so that you end up just pretty much eating meat and fat and, you know, stuff like that. So you get your protein, but it's mainly fat. And that doesn't sit well with me, you know. Your micronutrients, you know, your vitamins and your minerals are very, very important. And it's a very common thing for the ketogenic diet to then be stated as in, oh, make sure that you have a good multivitamin, make sure that you have a good this, make sure you have a good that. And I'm like, well then your fucking diet is imbalanced, isn't it, you stupid cunt? What the fuck? So, yeah. So yeah, my thoughts on it are that, you know, obviously there's a lot of claims about the health benefits of it, but are those health benefits not because of the actual ketogenic diet, but the health benefits are from excluding the stupid shit, you know, the processed food, the processed sugar, the fucking huge amounts of birthday cake that I ate last night, for example, right? So, you know, that's what you've got to ask yourself when you look at these sorts of things. When they offer up benefits, are those benefits because of what you're eating, or are they benefits because of what you're not eating, which is a big, big thing, not eating. If you don't eat shit and you don't eat processed food, you don't have to fucking go on some fucking extreme diet that says you can't have fucking fruit. I'm like, fuck off. I'm gonna eat fruit if I fucking want, you prick. Anyway, I might be digressing here, I don't know. But yeah, in terms of, like, you know, turning ketogenic and using that as the energy source and so on and so forth for making the body more efficient at fat burning, no, it's not that the body's more efficient at fat burning, it's just that it hasn't got a fucking choice, right? At the end of the day, if performance is a factor, I do not think the ketogenic diet, which is using a more inefficient fuel than carbohydrates, will actually do you a favour. And there seems to be a reason that all the people that also pursue performance rather than just, I want to get ripped, you know, that diet doesn't seem to work. Again, because of the nature of the fuel sources. You can change mechanisms in the body, but you can't change the nature of the fuel. But, hey, you know, whatever. Okay, question 3 from Emma Markham. This will be a funny one. Okay, here's one for you. I've just seen an advert on TV for Slendertone. Before you shout at me, I'm not saying that I would ever use one, but would love to know, because I think it would make great viewing. What's your opinion on these? Well, you know what? I can give an opinion on these, because I once had one. How's that for a fucking controversial admission? Now, a little bit of background before you can think, what the fuck? I seriously hurt my back good 20 plus years ago, training like a dickhead on a leg press machine. Now, I was born with a sublux right hip, so it doesn't move quite well. And I was on a leg press machine. I was like, I don't know, like 19 years old or something. And basically I was going to fatigue on this leg press machine, and the fucking thing came down and crushed me, brought my legs like past my head. But because my right hip from birth doesn't move in a particularly fluid manner, whereas it should have just been my knees coming evenly past my head, my hips didn't tilt evenly when I was being crushed. So as a result, it herniated discs on the left side of my lumbar, and also strained my left sacroiliac joint, which is something I still deal with to this day. But this injury, like, that happened, you know, proper fucked me up. You know, fuck me, like sleeping at night and just like, you know, trying to do anything physical. I was fucked. You know, sometimes like I'd wake up and I literally couldn't move in bed, and you know, I was just like, I was fucking desperate to figure out some way, and I saw this advert for Slendertone, which is these electrical pads. There's a device, and you've got electrical pads, and you put like gel on them, or water on them, or whatever, and you place them on muscle groups, and then the machine controls the amount of electrical current, because that's what stimulates muscular activity, directly into the muscle to make the muscles contract, right? And I was just like, you know what, I can't train, I'm worried about, you know, like strength, not just strength, but function, muscle atrophy, because I can't do anything. So I bought a fucking Slendertone, right? And I would wear this thing, you know, it's got like the straps and the pads, and I had them on my lower back, and I'm on my obliques and on my abs, and this fucking thing plugged into the mains, and you've got the dials for intensity, so you can like electrocute your muscles, turn it up, and it, you know, it causes a contraction, right? And it was really interesting, because, you know, the shit actually makes your muscles flex like pretty damn hard. And I think the contractions were sort of like, you know, maybe a second on and then 2 seconds off or something like that. So I actually had one of these things for what I thought was a legitimate reason, okay, to keep my midsection muscles from being able to fire, because they felt like they were so in such a state of inhibition because of my back injury, that I just, you know, thought, shit, if my midsection continues to get weaker, it's only going to make the problem in my lumbar spine worse. Now then, now we get to the serious issue, right? Do they work? Did it even work for my purpose? Don't know, to be perfectly blunt. I don't think I used it for quite a while, and one of the things that it might help with is helping blood flow and helping muscular contraction to stop maybe continued inhibition, but because there wasn't any movement, I could do it without like hurting my spine, so maybe there is some value there. Is that why people use it? Of course not, it's got the fucking name Slendertone. What the fuck does that make you think? Ooh, if I use this, I'll get abs. Oh, of course you fucking won't. You know what I mean? The fact of the matter is, right, is that exercise burns fuck all calories. I mean, fuck all calories, right, compared to just day to day, you know. Now, I know that upsets people, but, you know, it's true. You know, you can't actually, you know, make a huge difference with modern lifestyle, with exercise. I mean, if you were someone who was like shifted from being someone sat in an office to fucking digging roads up like 6 days a week, 8 hours a day, yeah, that's going to make a difference, you know, for the first week, and then you quit the job because it's too fucking hard, right? But exercise in the modern constraints of like 5 30-minute sessions a week or whatever, that's just fuck all, really. And something about the thing about the Slendertone thing is because there's no actual fucking movement. You're just contracting a muscle. So the amount of metabolic activity is fuck all. So what fucking difference is that going to make to things like a calorific balance, you know, which is the biggest thing, right? So, you know, if you're using a Slendertone to lose weight, ain't gonna happen, right? If you're using a Slendertone to define your muscles, ain't gonna happen, right? Because there's another aspect to all of this. While the Slendertone is giving an electrical, you know, impulse directly to the muscle, it's only that muscle that's getting the electrical impulse. You compare that to something where you're actually stressing the entire body, yeah, causing an overload throughout the entire system. You're firing like muscle fibers like fucking crazy throughout your whole body, okay, and generating force and generating overload and so on and so forth. That's how you create changes in the body. The Slendertone thing is just a very shallow contraction, you know. It's not going to do a huge amount for anything. And it's too localized, it's too small, you know. It's just, yeah, it's just pointless for the things that they claim it for, you know. And to be honest with you, did it do any good for me in my injury? Well, I still had the injury for years, still have the injury now, but I've totally like built up my midsection to cope with it. So I don't know if it did any good on that front either. I don't know if I hadn't have used it, if I'd have just had the same amount of healing cycle. I sort of would actually side on the fact that I think it maybe did help just in terms of encouraging blood flow and so on and so forth. But that'd be it. You know, you could do that just by keeping warm. You could flex your muscles yourself, you know, if you know how. I mean, this is one of the other things actually. This is one of the things about the Slendertone, right? Because of the nature of the electrical current, you know, the more built you are, right, and the more the higher level of residual tension and tonus you have in the muscle already, the more the Slendertone causes a contraction. So if you're someone, like, these are aimed at women, right, a lot of the time, you know, women that just, like, you know, they want to sit there and get toned, slender, right, they probably haven't got much muscle mass. So they put this fucking thing on, right, and there's not much muscle mass, so it's actually going to do fuck all, right? Whereas if you've got someone who's already athletic or already got a fair bit of muscle mass, that same electrical current has a much bigger contraction. So the very people that they're probably aiming it at, the people that don't want to train in the gym, are going to get the least amount of fucking contraction from it. And after all, that is what it's for, contracting muscles to cause a change. So, what a load of bollocks, really. So there you go, Slendertone, shit, the end.